It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am One Bar, and in this episode, we're going to be breaking down, doing a recap of Mike Zimmer's Wednesday morning press conference where he talked Vikings, Falcons, a little bit of everything. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the One Bar and Lupica Show. Like the videos. We're here every damn day talking Vikings. If you bleed purple, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into. Actually, before we get into that, I've had a lot of comments about my thick Minnesota accent, so I figured I would dress the part, shuck on some flannel. So you are welcome for that. All right, let's get into this. So right off the bat, he's just talking. You can tell he's not throwing in the towel. No NFL coach is going to ever admit they're throwing in the towel unless they want to get fired. So he just kind of alluded to Vikings have played some very good teams. They're getting better each week, and he's expecting some wins to come out of that moving forward. So good to see a little positivity out of him. No, he did not smile when he said it. Other than that, let's hop on the offensive side of the ball for the Vikings. Dalvin Cook was a question as far as, are you consider resting him with the bye week coming up? Zimmer kind of brushed that one off, just said he's feeling good. We'll see how it goes. Come on. We all know that it would be a huge surprise to play Dalvin Cook after that groin injury, especially with the bye week coming up, especially with how well Alexander Mattison played last week. So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of Alexander Mattison, talked him up a little bit. Just said hard worker, learning everything he can from Dalvin Cook, much better in his second year. Second-year running backs always just seem to, if they do the homework, be better in their second year as far as getting down schemes, pass blocking, all that. So he talked him up pretty good, which Madison deserves, especially after that game. When it came to drafting Alexander Mattison, Madison was, you just said, he was their number one running back on the board. Didn't have to do with him comparable to Dalvin Cook or anything. Just he was the best one there. They needed a running back. They took him. Other than that, offensively, didn't say much on the defensive side of the ball. Danielle Hunter was a question. Is there any clarity there? Any updates? He just said, no, not really. He's mulling his options. You could tell what everybody already knows. Hunter ain't coming back this year. If he did, it would be mind-blowing. And Zimmer didn't look overly happy about the question. You can tell he doesn't want to talk about it. He's probably, his purple heart is broken just like ours with the fact of having him on this defensive line. Jeff Gladney, now he that's one that you can tell that Zimmer likes to talk about. You can tell he loves this guy. What Zimmer said, he's had a lot on his plate. He's dealing with it well. He's playing inside. He's playing outside. Each week he gets more and more comfortable. So he expects him to continue to get better. Vikings fans love watching it. You can tell Mike Zimmer loves watching it. I am very excited about Jeff Gladney, if you can't tell. One of the best answers he had in the press conference was somebody asked, hey, what did James Lynch do to deserve his chance out there? And how did you feel about James Lynch's performance? Mike Zimmer's answer was he was fine. He was fine. James Lynch comes in after being inactive all year and plays 8 plays and gets an awesome sack. And Zimmer just says he was fine. But maybe he doesn't want him to get a big head, but it was funny. You should go watch it just for that reason. And for Ngakoue, they talked about him a little bit. He just said he continues to get better. He's understanding the Vikings' defensive way is better, and it's showing on the field. I think he's got 4 sacks in the last 4 games. So that was good to see. Talking Atlanta Falcons, the big thing obviously was Raheem Morris taking over for Dan Quinn as a coach. He didn't expect many changes on the Falcons side of things in 1 week. He did say, he expects him to probably play a little more aggressive, which scares me. Anytime you have a coaching change, players rally around new coaches generally, especially if he's a player's coach, and Raheem Morris seems to be liked. So Atlanta could be coming out really, really playing for this guy if they want him to be their next coach. And that gets me a little scared. I wish Dan Quinn would have made it 1 more week, and we could have took advantage of that and maybe cost Dan Quinn his job and not play Raheem Morris. So that part of it's a little scary for me. Otherwise, Atlanta Falcons, he just mentioned Todd Gurley, Hayden Hurst, their 2 new offensive weapons that they add an extra wrinkle. They're very dynamic. Matt Ryan talked him up quite a bit, just said how good he was. We all know Matt Ryan's good. And obviously the receivers, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. So nothing really groundbreaking as far as the Atlanta Falcons, what he said. Did mention their offensive line, how they've invested heavily in that, and that is panning out. Maybe we should do that. And that's really it. So Check it out. Like I said, the James Lynch quote was probably my favorite, and we'll be back later. We're going to be doing Scolding with the Enemy with the Falkaholic. Later today, we're going to be picking his brain to see what we got coming up with the Atlanta Falcons.